Hello everyone, and welcome to Linux Forensics here at Pentester Academy. In this video, we're going to show you how to use another utility in order to investigate unknown files. So you've used the file command, determined it was some sort of executable, you checked it against a hash database, and you didn't find anything, which honestly is not terribly surprising. Not only because Windows is the king of malware, but also because much of the malware that you might be investigating on Linux has been custom compiled. It could easily have a different hash value from the same piece of malware on another Linux box. So the utility we're going to show you in this video is called strings. Now you may have heard of strings before. It's fairly common. And what it does is it looks into a binary file and it tries to extract things that look like ASCII text. So we'll go ahead and do this on a couple of dumps that I've captured. So I captured a dump of the memory process for dropbear and also one of the Xingxi shells. So we'll start with dropbear. It's pretty easy to run. Just say strings. Give it the name of your file. I'm going to pipe it to more, and you can see some of this stuff is not very insightful. Now, it's not all necessarily strings. It's just something that looked kind of like a string to the utility. It's pretty common to see a lot of false positives with this utility as you go through it. Here we see some error strings. We see some references to SSH. Again, this is an SSH backdoor, so if we didn't already know this, we could use some of this information as a clue as to what is going on in this particular utility. We also see a list of encryption algorithms. Again, a little bit of a clue as to what is going on. Here we see a reference to a couple of files, so that might be something to check out. So that's it for that particular file. Now, this will be especially helpful if the binary hasn't been stripped. So recall that you can strip binaries and take out the debugging information. And we had previously looked at some of these binaries and determined that some of them had been stripped and the Xingxi files had not been stripped. So this will be even more insightful in that case. So let's have a look at one of our Xingxi files. We see some references to temp files, and after that, we see some interesting strings. We see swordman with a 0 and a 4 in the middle of it, and we see password and wrong password. So if I were to guess, I would guess that the password that is being used by this process is SW0RDM4N. So another good clue as to what's going on with this file. And again, all we have is a memory image. We haven't looked at the actual executables as of yet. Now we can look at the executables as well. So I'll go ahead and look at those very quickly. And we should get some similar results. And sure enough, here we're seeing about the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and quit from this. And instead of the bind shell, I'm going to try the reverse shell and see if I get anything different. Here I see some references to libraries and specific versions. Here I see a reference to a 64-bit library. Once again, references to files in the temporary directory, the same password. a specific version of GCC, and I see a list of functions. So anytime you see something that looks like this, this is actually a function that is being imported from a library. In this case, the new library for C, a certain version, so libc, and it's importing fopen, it's importing exit, connect, etc. So here you can see all of those interesting symbols. Again, this binary was not stripped. So if it was stripped, a lot of this information would not be coming through. So there you have it. Without decompiling anything or even looking into the deep, dark code, we were able to make some sort of determinations about our files and get kind of a rough idea what might be going on. We were able to define a password and do several other interesting things as well. We were able to define a password, see which functions were imported from various libraries, etc. Well, that's all for this video. As always, if you're enjoying these videos here at Pentester Academy, please tell a friend. We'll see you soon.